Valley Talk on News Talk 1580 KGAL.
And it's Monday, beautiful day. The weatherman says we can expect really nice weather all the way through this weekend and going to be enjoying it as well. I'm Dave Adams. Welcome to Valley Talk. We've got a full show for you today. Two guests booked. We have Jeremy Ito, who is the Area Director for Young Life, reaching out to share their faith with young people here in the Mid-Willamette Valley. So, Jeremy, thanks for being with us on Valley Talk today.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate you letting me share what we're doing with kids in this city.
Carol Dinges with Lebanon Library is going to be in at 11:30 this morning. We're going to talk about a lot of things with Carol. Genealogy, early literacy, and something that she's kind of teased us about, stealth programming for young adults. And I guess you have to stick around for about 20 minutes to figure out what stealth programming for young adults is. Anyway, that's happening at the Lebanon Library. Looking forward to hearing that. If you want to win a $10 gift certificate from Quiznos, then send me an email right now, dave@kgal.com. Put Quiznos Taste on Us on the subject line. At the end of the show, we're going to be drawing a name out of the hat, and the person who wins will get a $10 gift certificate, and that's good for any of your choice of sandwiches or chips or drink at Quiznos in Albany. That's next to the old G.I. Joe's location, and just right down the studios from the KGAL Albany studios here in Albany. And you can also call the station and have your name put into the drawing, or just send me an email, dave@kgal.com. If your community or nonprofit organization has something going on and you would like to get a mention on Valley Talk, just send me an email, same address, dave@kgal.com. Salvation Army is having its first annual Kettle Kickoff Dinner, and this is coming up October 25th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Eagles. And it's kick off the Red Kettle Christmas campaign. They'd like to get more volunteers out manning the kettles, so they don't have to use so many employees, and donations as well. Thanks to Maureen Lawless, the lieutenant for the Salvation Army in Albany. And if you have something going on in your nonprofit organization, then let me know. Send me an email, dave@kgal.com. One of the organizations I'm involved with, the Jesus Network, TJN, we're having a balloon flight. We're selling hot air balloon rides this Saturday at 8 a.m. at Cheadle Lake Park. You can pre-buy tickets you can go to our website, tjn1.tv, or just show up at Cheadle Lake Park. We're going to be doing that this Saturday, October 6th, from 8 to 9:30 a.m. $10 per person. They're tethered rides, so you'll be able to go up about 30, 40 feet, take some pictures. If you've never been in a hot air balloon before, a lot of fun. So check it out. Jeremy Ito is with us in the studio right now, Area Director for Young Life. Jeremy, what is Young Life?
Yeah, Young Life is an international, non-denominational outreach for middle school, high school, and college students. And so it has been around since 1941. It was founded by a man named Jim Rayburn, who saw a need of high school students that really were missing from a lot of from his church and from a lot of the churches in his area. And he was asking the question, how do we connect with young people? How do we help engage them where they are, meet them where they're at, and introduce them to the Christian faith? And
so this has been going on since 1941.
It has, yeah. And since that time, it's expanded internationally. It's in about 66 different countries. And in fact, we were just at a leader committee weekend where our speaker was one of the international senior vice presidents, and had just some amazing stories of what's happening around the world.
Everybody is facing some challenges today. What specifically are young people dealing with right now? You talk to them a lot.
Yeah, I think there are lots of issues that we hear about when we think about teenagers. I think a lot of those issues stem from just the fact that many of them don't have caring adults in their lives. There are so many teenagers who come from families where there's just a lot of brokenness and a lot of hurt that has taken place in the family, but also to them as individuals. And so they're trying to cope with a lot of that in their lives. And a lot of teenagers, if you were to ask them how many caring adults do you know in your life, most of them could probably count that number on one hand, and would even struggle to kind of think through who are the adults in my life that actually care about me. So I think through that, we see a lot of teens dealing with depression, suicidal thoughts. Obviously, you hear a lot about teens addicted to drugs, alcohol, prescription drugs, the party scene. And then there's just a lot of confusion about how do I have a normal, healthy relationship with friends, with the opposite sex. And so there's just a lot of kids looking for happiness, looking for hope, and trying to find it on their own.
So let's say you have some young people that are coming to you, let's say a young man.
Yeah.
And he says, well, Dad's never around, he's just kind of checked out, and I'm just down on my own. So when you ask him the question, how many adults care in your life, and they're having a hard time naming them, how do you interface? What do you do?
Yeah, well, it's definitely an issue in our world, in our culture. I think the last a recent study that I came across showed that about 33% of children today live or know their biological father and interface with them on a regular basis. And so there are a lot of kids that don't know what it's like to have a dad that loves them and cares about them. And I think, I don't know that we can fix that for kids, but what we do offer is a friendship with teenagers, and we provide caring adults who have had amazing experiences in their own life where they've been loved and cared for, or someone has stepped in to their life and cared enough about them to spend time with them and to ask them how their life is going, and really has stepped into that gap of just being able to show them how to live life, just basic life skills sometimes.
It's like you have a banquet fundraiser coming up.
Yeah.
So if you're hearing what Jeremy says and you want to help Young Life, help young people in the Mid-Willamette Valley, one of the ways that you can do that right now is getting involved in their annual banquet fundraiser, which is a major event for you guys to bring in money so you can do what you do. Tell me about the fundraiser, or the banquet.
Yeah, it's one of the highlights of the year for us, where we get to share not only what the ministry has done for kids, but what it is continuing to do as we look ahead, and we get to share some of the things that we feel like are going to continue to impact the lives of teenagers. We also get to share some of the stories from teens themselves, so they get to share how Young Life, how God has impacted their life story. And I think that's probably everyone's favorite part of the night as they walk away, that we get to hear testimonials from students whose lives have been changed forever. And
when is the banquet?
The banquet is actually on Saturday, October 20th, and it'll be in the evening. It'll start promptly at 6:30. Doors will open at 6. And it's a free 2-hour fundraising event, and so anyone is welcome to attend that wants to find out more, whether they want to give or not.
Is there going to be food there, and where is it at?
Yes, there will be a catered meal provided, and so we do need people to RSVP. It's at the Lynn County Fair and Expo Center, and people can actually register online at www.banquetfundraiser.com. Or they can go to our website at albanyyounglife.com.
So does it cost to attend? Is there an admission?
No, it's free. We want people to be able to come without feeling any pressure to give. It is our fundraiser, so we would love for people to come with generous hearts. But if they just want to come check out what Young Life is, it's a great opportunity for them to do that.
How many kids do you help or interface with?
I would say on average we are impacting about 300 to 400 kids' lives each year. year, and it almost always depends on how many quality volunteer leaders do we have. And so this year we've got a great crew of leaders. We have a bunch of new leaders that we're excited to bring on board and train. And so I would anticipate that we'll probably see, on average, about 100 kids coming to club by the winter time for our high school, and then probably about 40 to 50 middle school kids coming every other week.
Could you help more kids if you had more volunteer help and or more money?
Definitely. I think that's always the one thing that keeps us from doing more. And a lot of what we do is scholarshiping kids to go to camp. And so when we're able to meet our operating costs, then a lot of the surplus of that is able to hugely benefit the number of kids that we can invite to camp. And so we appreciate the local support of people who give to this organization. And we have been very blessed by some significant gifts from people.
When is camp?
We usually do a summer camp, a week-long summer camp for both high school and middle school students, and so we're kind of spread out throughout the summer. But our information on when our camp dates are on our website at albanyyounglife.com.
So you have more than one camp per year?
We do, yeah. So we usually go out in the summer to Washington Family Ranches, both Canyon for high school kids and Creekside for middle school kids. And so it's Eastern Oregon. It used to be the old Rajneesh Purim compound.
Rajneesh Purim.
Yes. So just an exciting history of how God has taken that and really used it for a great thing. So
I haven't been out there. I toured it as a news reporter when it was Rajneesh Purim, and I was out there and interviewed some of the spokespersons for the Rajneesh when I was covering news for a station in the Dalles, Oregon. I haven't been out there yet since Young Life is taking it over. I'd like to come out there and take a look at it.
Yeah, anybody that wants to come out, you're certainly welcome, Dave. There is actually an adult guest program that runs throughout the summer, and so people that want to come and look and see what's going on are always welcome to check that out.
Now, you have a building in Albany, don't you?
We do, yeah.
Do you have weekly meetings?
We do. We have our weekly high school club that happens on Monday nights at 7:14 p.m. And then
7:14?
Yes. 7:13 was too early and 7:15 was too late. So it's just kind of a random thing to help kids remember when it's happening.
Okay.
And then our middle school group actually meets. It'll begin meeting in October. Typically, they meet on the first and third Saturdays of the month, and they meet in the South Albany gym.
What happens at these meetings?
Yeah, so a lot of it is providing a safe environment for kids, regardless of where they're at in their faith journey, whether they don't believe in God at all or whether they have been a Christian for years. We want it to be a place where they feel like they can come and experience caring adults, deep friendships, and fun. And so there's just a lot of activities that we do that are very teenager-oriented, a lot of fun games, a lot of skits that use humor to kind of break down walls. We sing songs, and then at the end of the night, there is about a 10 to 15-minute talk that one of the Young Life leaders who has been walking alongside of them gives and shares the message of Jesus and hope and how God is relevant to their lives.
Okay, we're talking to Jeremy Ito, Area Director for Young Life here in Albany. We'll continue and talk with Jeremy for about another 10 minutes in the show, and then we're going to be switching gears here and talking with Carol about what's going on at the Lebanon Library. So stay with us. This is Valley Talk. I'm Dave Adams. Don't forget to sign up for your chance to win a $10 gift certificate from Quiznos in Albany. Just write an email to me, put in the subject line, Taste on Us, and if we pull your name out of the hat at the end of the show, you'll get a $10 gift certificate and use it for whatever sandwiches you want to buy. Take a friend in there, get a couple sandwiches, drinks, chips, whatever $10 can get you. And thanks to Dale and the crew at Quiznos in Albany for being a part of Valley Talk here on KGAL, and we'll be back in just a moment.
All That Glitters Jewelry and Loans in Salem reminds listeners the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. Their commitment and courage keep our country safe and strong. Let's honor those who have lost their lives in the line of duty, and let's take the time to salute all of those who serve today. This reminder is from All That Glitters Jewelry and Loans at 1191 Lancaster Drive, Northeast in Salem, and 4 locations in Portland, open 7 days a week. All That Glitters Jewelry and Loans, and they are on the air, proudly saluting all of our troops.
When you look out across Willamette Valley, you'll see plenty of banking choices. But we're here to give you an option that's pretty unique, like no other in fact. Hi, I'm Dave Wood, President and CEO of Willamette Community Bank. We provide an alternative to large national and regional banks by offering customized financial services and local decision-making to benefit local people, local families, and local businesses. How many banks can say that? Willamette Community Bank, service like no other, we promise. Member FDIC.
Coming October 13th, it's the second annual Samaritan Health Services Living Well Expo at Heritage Mall in Albany, presented by Bimart and a Turning Leaf Home Medical. There are over 80 booths promoting healthy, fun, and fulfilling lifestyles. Bring the family. It's free. Enjoy the exhibit, special sales, and Bimart micro-reality racing track, and continuous entertainment on the Monarch Medical Weight Loss main stage. See performances by local magicians, the Lebanon High School Dance Team, the Square Dance Alliance, Albany Civic Theater, Cascade Performing Arts, and more. Explore new hobbies and visit health screenings ranging from blood pressure tests to breast and cervical cancer detection. Learn about nutrition, including the Oregon Healthy Kids program. Ever wondered how much that rare book, those old Victorian pieces or other old items might be worth? Local advanced collectors will be on hand to give you an evaluation of your items starting at noon. Don't miss the second annual Samaritan Health Services Living Well Expo presented by Bimart and Turning Leaf Home Medical, coming up October 13th at Heritage Mall in Albany.
Gooch and Renier Family Cosmetic Dentistry in Albany would like to remind their friends throughout the area. If your health permits, please donate blood. Your efforts will help save the lives of many throughout our community. Be a silent hero. Give the gift of life. Give blood today. This community message has been brought to you by Gooch and Renier Family Cosmetic Dentistry. Give them a call at 928-9299, 928-9299. They are accepting before and after work appointments. The number again, 928-9299.
This is Shelley Garrett, and Ryan Murphy and I are going to be headed to the courthouse steps in Albany this Saturday at 7:30 a.m. for the Seroptimus International Run for a Life, Walk for a Cause live remote broadcast. Please join us from 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. on the air, or better than that, come join us in person as we walk the streets of Albany. The walk begins at 9:15, so come and join us before. This is Shelley Garrett and Ryan the Lion, and we'll be on live at 9:20 a.m. K-Show.
Laugh, cry, or get scared spitless with When Radio Was. Weeknights at 10 on 1580 KGAL.
I'm Dave Adams, Valley Talk. Glad to have you with us today. We are talking to Jeremy Ito, Area Director for Young Life. And Jeremy, glad to have you with us on Valley Talk today.
Hey, thanks, Dave. Appreciate it.
During the break, we were talking about the fact that you're starting a college program. And let's revisit that statistic once again about how many kids kind of walk away from the faith when they go off to school.
Yeah, the Barna Group has put out some recent research that indicates that about 7 out of the 10 students who attended youth group regularly, 7 out of 10 of them are going to actually walk away from the church and try to do faith on their own, and that 1 out of those 10 youth group kids is going to walk away from faith completely. And so we really want to try to help kids integrate faith into their life as they go off into college. And really what we have seen as we study this is that many of those students that make that decision to sort of walk away from church do it in the first 2 weeks of their college experience.
Why do they do that?
I think a lot of it has to do with community. A lot of it has to do with the fact that they're looking for a group of friends, a group of people to associate with and hang out with, and a lot of them just find that when you're on campus and you're away from mom and dad in the first 2 weeks, you're going to get invited to a lot of parties. And so a lot of them feel so guilty about going to a party that they just kind of lose that habit of being in a church setting, being around people that love them and care about them and are going to remind them of how much God loves them, how much He cares about them, and how much grace He has for them. And so I think there's a lot of students that do the walk of shame and unfortunately don't walk back into the church until much later in their lives, if then.
Peer pressure is huge, isn't it?
It definitely is. And especially when you're away from your group of friends that maybe were a good influence on you when you were in high school, when you have that habit of going to youth group each week or attending church with your parents. It can be really easy to lose those habits when you start over again in college and have a freedom to really do whatever you want.
Can you share with us a little bit about how Young Life wants to start a program to change that a little bit? What are your ideas?
Yeah, so we're going to start with seniors, and we've actually begun this. We did this a little bit last year, a group for seniors to begin to help them think ahead of what do I need to do really to pre-plan or to plan how I can hold on to my faith those first 2 weeks and even beyond that. And then we feel like the next step for us is beginning with a core group of college students and really building a leadership crew, a group of college students that really feels like they want to reach out to their friends. And then we want to surround them with adults that really see the need and feel called to that type of outreach.
Let's talk about surrounding them with adults. One of the things that we were talking about during the break, and we have mentioned in the past that there has been a problem, and there are some families now that are facing some serious financial challenges in their homes. So maybe mom and dad are not providing a great role model for the kids, and so they don't have an adult role model to look up to or to aspire to. They don't have a good example of how they should live their life and what they should grow into. Yeah. Maybe mom and dad are making good choices. Do you have an opportunity at Young Life to, I don't know if you have mentoring programs or older leaders sitting down and talking to kids and saying, hey, what's going on?
Yeah, I think probably the most powerful thing that a Young Life leader does, or that the adults in our outreach do, is asking kids to go to coffee with them, or inviting them over to their house, or just spending an hour or two one-on-one with a kid and asking them about their life. So many of them, after a leader does that with them, have shared, nobody does this. Nobody asks me about my life. Nobody asks me what's going on. And so it is a huge blessing to those kids to have adults in their lives asking them about their friendships, asking them about the peer pressure that they're facing, asking them about what's going on at home, what do you need help with? And so that is just a very impactful thing. I would say it's more impactful than a year's worth of clubs to have a leader sit down with a kid for 1 hour and not just do it once, but do it consistently over and over and over again.
Who are you looking for in volunteers? You're looking for other teenagers? You're looking for adults? What age groups?
Yeah, I would say their age really is not a factor. In fact, there are high school juniors and seniors that are student leaders that reach out to their friends. There are college students, both at Lynn Benton and OSU, or who are in a career that help out. And then there are also parents and empty nesters that help out with the middle school program and provide a lot of support for leaders, leader care, and just provide an anchor in our ministry as the college students are transitional. A lot of times some of the empty nester aged leaders can be around for 5, 10, 15 years and provide a lot of stability for our ministry.
How many volunteers do you have now? Can you share that with us?
Yeah, we're somewhere in the ballpark about 20 adult leaders, and then probably another 10 student leaders or high school age leaders.
It's Christmas time. How many would you like if we could just say here they are?
Yeah, ideally the grand vision is to have a team of about 8 leaders at every single middle school, high school, and Lynn Benton Community College. And so I'm not very good at math, but we would love a whole lot more leaders that care about kids.
How many kids do you hope now?
Right now, I would say on average, we see, we throughout the year we'll help about 300 to 400 kids.
What could that grow to if you had the volunteers?
Yeah, ideally, I think, knowing how many middle school, high school, college students are, our vision is to one day be able to reach all of them. And there are currently, if you just count the LBCC students under the age of 26, middle school, high school, and that college, there are about 12,000 middle school, high school, and college students. And so we want to think through what do we need to get there? What do we need to be able to bless and reach out to every single one of those students one day?
What would you say to maybe the older people listening to the program today to motivate them? Maybe they had a bad experience with their kids and say, well, I wasn't a real good parent, and so I'd like to help you out, but I don't know, I just can't relate to kids. What would you say to motivate them to engage?
Yeah, I would say help in whatever way you can. There may be limitations on what you can or what you think you can't do, but everybody can do something. And even if that means giving a donation or providing snacks or just coming and watching and checking it out and seeing if it's a good fit, I would say the best thing you can do is just get involved at some level. And even if it's not with Young Life, find an organization that helps kids, helps teenagers, because there are a lot of needs out there, and it's not that hard. It really isn't that difficult to help a student. If you know how to listen, that's really all teenagers need. If you can give generously, I would say that's a huge help to those that feel called to do this. And if you have time to give, or if you, it's amazing to me that what Young Life leaders do a lot of times is just do what they're already doing and invite kids into that. We have moms who take kids shopping with them. We have kids that come over to our house and just eat food with us. And so there are definitely lots of ways to bless students, but I would say just do something.
When is your banquet once again? Let's talk about time, date, place.
Yes, Saturday, October 20th. It is starting at 6:30, goes till 8:30. The doors will open at 6 for people to find their seats. People can register online at www.banquetfundraiser.com, or you can go on our website at albanyyounglife.com. And it's going to be out at the fairgrounds. It's a great event. We have fun every year, and it's such an amazing and inspirational night to hear from kids and how their lives have been changed.
Jeremy, thank you for all you do for kids, and if you're listening and if you're involved in the Young Life program, thank you for what you do, and if you're not involved, think about getting involved, or maybe opening up your wallet and helping these folks help kids that they're the next generation. We need to reach out to them, and we need to help them out. There's a lot of stressors in everyone's life right now, and kids are having some difficulty with some things. So let's all engage as a community and make a difference. Jeremy, thank you for all you do.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it.